how many are ahead of her?
Great. Okay, so my name is Jordy Izzard, and I'm an Alumni Relations Officer at SAIS, and I am here with Jay Hersch, and he graduated in the class of 1968 from SAIS in DC. And thanks so much for being here. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and the first one is, what originally brought you to SAIS? Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, so I was at the University of Wisconsin in the period of 60 to 64, and when I graduated undergraduate school from University of Wisconsin, I'd applied to Northwestern for law school and a PhD program in agronomy at the University of Wisconsin, and I did not want to go back to school.
Okay.
And at that time, it was the Kennedy period. It was the Kennedy era, and so I was intrigued with what Hubert Humphrey was talking about, which was the Peace Corps, and then it was John F. Kennedy that really promulgated it and promoted it. Mm-hmm. So that's what I took the track of joining the Peace Corps.
And where were you in the Peace Corps?
I was in Columbia.
Okay.
And I was in cooperative development. I was there for 2 years, 64 to 66. So now, even though I had at that juncture, when I was finishing up, which was June of 1966, my perspective was very, very different. I was no longer interested in. I mean, I could have still gone back to Northwestern, and I still could have gone back to University of Wisconsin. I did not want to. I was interested in development, and I was interested in economic and social development, and and that was the impetus. Of course, was Peace Corps. So then I was looking for schools of. Well, I mean, the rubric is international relations, but really it was, the subset was economic, social development. So I applied to Columbia, I applied to Hopkins, SAIS, and I think I applied to, was it Tufts, that's out of Boston?
Fletcher School?
Yeah. And where's the Woodrow Wilson School?
It's in D.C.
No.
The Woodrow Wilson.
The one is at Princeton.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yep.
I think it was Woodrow Wilson that I applied. So I got accepted at Columbia, and I got accepted at Hopkins. And why? I think I chose it because I was working with the Peace Corps. I was working with different agencies, government agencies within Columbia, and also there was some, obviously Peace Corps was a U.S. government agency as well, so I chose Washington.
Okay.
But I didn't know Washington. It just seemed to be the right move. So when I went to, when I got to SAIS, I was interested in development, and that's really what I focused on. So the economics and the sociology of it and all that, and that's really what I went to SAIS for. The interesting thing is that when you were looking for jobs, after the second year, I actually had an interview with Exxon. I think it was Exxon at that time. And I had the gentleman asked, it was up in New York, and said, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I like working with, internationally, I like working with, with people, and, improving their, and then he sort of said, well, why are you here? I said, I don't know, I just want to see what what you would offer. And so we had a very good interview, and he said, I think you're right, you want to do development, and Exxon is not the place to do it. Although we have that gentleman on the ads now who's doing the thing with the algae, who went to Berkeley in 1971, so they're doing something right. The Exxon Valdez was not right. Okay, so that's really why I wanted to expand my horizons and have a degree in development.
Great.
And I saw SAIS as the vehicle.
Uh-huh.
And then I had a choice of going to AID and what AID and
When you graduated, you mean?
well, this is still in the, yeah, when I graduated, I then looked at the what was available on the government side.
Mm-hmm.
And the private side, I did the Exxon and
Mm-hmm.
wasn't called Exxon then, was it? I don't remember.
I don't recall.
Yeah. So
Before we get into your career, though, what were some of your memories of SAIS, of being there? Professors or students or maybe historical events? I don't know.
well, I'm blanking on his name. Pat will remember. Lystad. It was Dr. Lystad, who was one of my favorite professors. Because he was on the, I think his specialty was Africa, but he's really was dealing with development, and he allowed me to pursue courses. I sort of chose what I wanted to read and sort of created my own curriculum, and he was very nurturing. I think he was absolutely outstanding. I was on the economic side. I can't remember. Pat again would remember I'm referring to my wife now. Well, he became the head of the economics department, and he's retired now. But he was quite terrific. A little intimidated by him, but I liked him a lot. Spanish was my language, so I mean that was sort of I had to learn non-colloquial Spanish because I was being in Colombia. I was totally fluent. So and there was some of the students. There was one from Mexico. There was the one from who Eduardo married was, she became an ambassador to the islands. I'm not good at recalling, some of these people, but I always thought she was sort of attractive, and I didn't understand why she would marry Eduardo. But she was, so there were some good friends there. But overall, I would say it was trying to get through it, trying to get the degree and then moving on. Do I have fond memories? Yes, some. Some of the professors, a lot of them I don't remember, but can you stop it for a minute?
Yeah.
Just for a second.